how's it going, guys? I'm your host Dev04066 and welcome back to the next episode of the Let's Play Adventure Quest series. So I know it's been about a month since I did this series already, and I truly apologize for that because I do not really have the time to go and make another video, as you guys know of my busy schedule. So here, for this episode, we decided to just go ahead and complete some other quests instead of level grinding, because I am getting a little bit bored, to be honest, and I don't want every video to just be mindless level grinding over and over again. I'd like to showcase some of the other quests inside Adventure Quest as well. And you can see here we are going through one of the very old quests. This one you can find from Aquella inside the inn. And the first time I actually attempted this quest back in a previous episode, I actually could not beat the Bracken, but now I'm able to beat him quite easily, as you guys can see here. So you're basically traveling along a ship to the island of the Lilliputs. This is obviously based off the story, the very classic Lilliputian story, as you guys know already. So yep, and here we get some health potions. Also, one thing to note, this is an old quest, so look at all the artwork there. The artwork for all of the monsters are the newly updated artwork, but the artwork for all of the cutscenes are they still remain the old 2D type. So that's really cool to see, and obviously I'm going to be switching up my sounds and my elemental icons to the old artwork just for nostalgia's sake, as just so it will fit better with the whole overall quest line thingy. And one thing I've noticed is that for the old quests, what they do is they give you health potions or mana potions every time you defeat a 2 to 3 monsters, instead of giving you a full heal every 2 monsters, which in my opinion makes the game a bit harder, because you still have to spend a turn in combat to drink the potions, and the potions aren't a full heal. Obviously, even with 3 potions, you probably are not getting a full heal, as compared to nowadays, whereby it's almost a guarantee that every 2 monsters that you fight, you will be getting a full heal. So here we will talk to the Lilliputians before facing off against them, and then this, I believe, is their pet or another monster, I don't know, but you will be facing the giant later on. So all of the monsters in this quest, they are pretty easy. In fact, the only hard one was, I guess you could say hard was the Bracken in the beginning, and maybe this Ultra Giant here, which has a ton of HP, but keep in mind that his resistance is 200%. So you can see here many of the old quests, they are based on classical storylines. If you guys read the story, you guys will know, but yeah, it's pretty much a childhood classic for me, so really nice to see this inside the game. With 200% resistance, it's very easy to take this guy out. Also, the Lilliputian Sorcerer Army is a great guess, as you guys can see. Can deal a few hits of different elemental damage, and is highly recommended to get him as a guess if you want to farm or do anything else. Also, the SP upkeep isn't a lot. So for the next quest, this one we have the raid on Bludrut Keep. You can see it's very cool because they actually said give the credits to everybody who did part of this quest in the beginning. And here we have our very first, I believe it's the very first dungeon crawl inside of AQ. You can see they have provided a map on the bottom right corner. So this concept is actually not new to AQ. It's just that I believe it's kind of tedious, so the staff has not they not really want to implement too many of this type of quests. And this Bludrut Keep is actually a huge dungeon. In fact, bigger than any of the other dungeons I've seen in the game. I believe it's even bigger than the Dragon Mastercraft set dungeon that came out a few years back. So this dungeon actually has 4 floors, and the very first floor I got super unlucky. I had to go through every single room just to find the last room. I was obviously going in blind. I did not look at the instructions or anything. I did not know anything about this quest, but looking at the monsters on the first, second, and third floor, I thought, hey, this is going to be a cakewalk because all the monsters are so low level. Here, the potions there, you can click on it to get a full heal. However, it's not an unlimited amount of full heals, it's only 2 full heals. So you have to keep that in mind. I actually didn't know that and actually screwed up later on in the later floors. But it's still, the lack of the potions still sort of worked out for me, though you'll see later on other problems that I encountered. So as you go deeper down into the dungeon, the monsters get a little bit more difficult. But that is still not the main crux of this issue. After going through this entire quest, I realized that it is a huge waste of time. So let me just put this out here first. So unless you are very high level, you will not be finishing this entire quest. So very high level, I mean level 70 to 80 plus, which at that time I believe is when this game is still in its early stages. Not many people have reached that level yet. So and there weren't many, in fact there aren't any grinding spots inside the game at that time. So it's very hard to get to that level when this quest came out, I believe. So yeah, it's a pretty difficult quest. In even though the first few floors are meant for lower level players, because of the lower level monsters, you'll not be able to finish the entire quest unless you are high level enough or even max level at that time. So just keep that in mind. Also, looking through all of the older quests after I actually did this, because I got so annoyed at the end. I'll let you know why later. Okay, so looking through all of the old quests, they actually do not have a reward shop. The reward actually comes in the form of a temporary weapon. In fact, a lot of the rewards are from the older quests are just temporary weapons. You do not need to buy them. There is no shop to buy them from, and to be honest, they'll just disappear after you log out. So if you ask me, it's not really worth it to do the older quests. I'm just doing it just to showcase you the chronological order of quest release. This is obviously a side quest, nothing to do with the main story, but just keep that in mind. So if you want to skip through all the side quests, you can totally do that. There's no good rewards because they are just temporary weapons. They aren't even permanent. So the moment you log out, they disappear. So what is the point exactly? But then again, this is old quest, so I don't blame them. And of course, Bludrut Keep is a very classic place inside the world of AQ. Okay, maybe not for Dragon Fable or Mac Quest, but AQ was Bludrut Keep was also one of the first dungeon crawlers ever released. Of course, sidetracking a bit, talking about AQ Wars, I no longer play that. But yeah, Bludrut Keep was also one of the first dungeon crawls to ever appear inside of AQ Wars. And the AQ Wars version of Bludrut Keep is obviously much easier though. I think they've updated it to for higher level players with a lot more flaws and whatnot. But for the classic AQ, it's still a pretty standard dungeon crawl with low level monsters. Monsters getting more difficult with each progressive floor, and the second floor here still very easy. So second floor is the first time we encounter Grogglug, which is the boss monster, which you guys will see later on. And one thing that I don't really understand is how in the world is Grogglug able to escape from you. That I do not understand. So Grogglug managed to run down one entire floor, or two entire floors. But look at this guy. He's a fat alien slug, basically Jabba the Hutt. How in the world is he able to run from you? You are a fit, adventuring human who can, okay, I wouldn't say running super fast, but surely you can run faster than this fat alien slime. But so come on, that doesn't make logical sense. But okay, just sidetracking a bit, don't want to play the AQ stuff too much, but it doesn't make logical sense that this guy can move faster than you and can actually run two entire floors down without you being able to catch him. So right when I beat him, I used quite a lot of ally assist. I thought, oh hey, we finally reached the boss monster. I didn't expect such a long quest because this was one of the first few quests ever released, as you can tell from the artwork. So I'm just like, wow, this quest is hella long for a old quest. So I thought, okay, maybe 3 floors, 3 seems like a nice number, but nope. This quest actually has 4 floors, and I really struggled on the 4th floor. So in fact, I didn't even make it past the first room of the 4th floor. The 3rd floor, there are a few challenging monsters, namely the Velocity Raider, which is level 50 plus, and I am only a level 30 plus. I still do manage to beat the Velocity Raider, but not without incurring quite a lot of damage, as you guys will see later. So the ice monsters are still pretty easy, as you guys can see here. So are the shifter monsters. All you have to do is get some good decent equipment for your level and you'll be able to beat them. And I also realized that they are pretty stingy with the amount of XP you get for their level. So I can obviously get way better XP rewards by farming the 10th anniversary dragon event, and those are lower level, much lower level compared to these monsters. So I feel that there is some adjustment to be done for the older monsters. Maybe you could, for the lower level monsters, maybe you can give a bit more XP so that it's easier for lower level players to level up. Of course, I'm speaking this from a completely free to play and starting player perspective. Make it easier for players to level up. There's 150 levels in the game, and at the start of the game, there aren't any good grinding spots. Especially for newer players, they wouldn't know. They'll just be doing quests left and right, not knowing what to expect. Obviously, unless they watch videos or watch guides, or maybe they are returning players who already have a max account like me. So make it easier for starting players to level up. The XP bar to level up is the amount of XP you need to level up at a lower level is quite a lot if you're just fighting through basic monsters like these, as opposed to fighting EXP grinding, where you're finding the best monster with the most amount of XP gain per kill. But if you're just fighting regular monsters, it is a chore to level up your character at lower levels. So hopefully the AQ staff here's my request and make it easier for the lower levels to level up. But that being said, majority of the players nowadays are already max level, so I'm just saying this so that for new, if there are any newer players, or for the very small minority of newer players, it's easier for them to level up while doing these quests if they just want to mindlessly level grind their way all the way up to the top. So you can see here, Velocity Raider Rex, pretty hard battle for me, almost died here, but yes, I do manage to beat him, and I hit all the way back to get a full heal, so that's nice. Also, I went the other way round instead. And third floor still manageable, though difficult, and you can see here I'm out of ally assist already, so I knew at this point I was screwed, because oh boy, there's going to be a fight with another Grogler, a much tougher version. I'm probably not going to be able to beat him, but I just want to see how far through this maze I can get. So at this point, I still had no idea there was a fourth floor. I thought, okay, maybe third floor, this is where Grogler is going to be, and just going to continue killing these monsters until I reach Grogler. But no, there's another entrance to a fourth floor, as you guys will see later on. And the monsters you face in the fourth floor are usually above level 50 to 70 plus. The final Grogler himself is level 75 if I remember correctly. So yeah, as a level 31, I'm definitely not going to be able to get all the way to the end. Should not have went into this quest blind. So for those of you guys who don't know already, do not go into the quest blind. And I wasted a full heal there, not knowing that there were only a maximum of 2 full heals. So for those lower level players who are doing the quest, keep that in mind. So you don't want to waste your full heals unless you absolutely need to. So on the fourth floor, the first monster that you will actually encounter, which you guys will see in a while, is the Minotaur Prime. But the Minotaur Prime is just crazy. Updated artwork, obviously updated. I'm not sure if they updated the skill set and the damage or the stats for the Minotaur, but the the artwork has definitely been updated to the new one in recent years. Just not sure if they updated the stats, but it seems pretty ridiculous for a monster of that level to be dealing that much damage, which you guys will see now. I'm actually talking about this first because this video is sped up and I end the quest pretty fast once I get to the last monster, which is the Minotaur Prime. So I want to talk a little bit about him before we get there, because I'm not going to have the time for this video to I'm not going to have enough time once we reach the Minotaur to actually talk about the Minotaur in full. So here are just some basic ice monsters, very easily taken care of. And the Minotaur Prime, I believe, is level 60 plus or level 70 plus, we'll see later on. And he's actually really tough for a level 60 plus monster. In fact, I think if you're level 60 plus, you will still pose quite a large challenge to normal adventurers who have no access to Guardian gear or the better equipment inside the game. So at max level, he's still a challenge for my max character. Not really say a challenge, but still I would consider a difficult regular monster for my max character. So hopefully we can see a bit of adjustment to the Minotaur on the lower levels. I'm perfectly fine with it on the max level, since you have access to all the best equipment and stuff like that. But for lower levels, I like to see it being adjusted so that it's easier for newer players to pick it up and defeat the monster. Basically, here I'm just going to give suggestions on how to improve the game for lower level players, because playing through the game as a new character, I realized that the game is actually not as easy as it is. Since you know me, I've been really used to my maxed out character being able to curb stomp everything, but as a lower level player, it's actually not that easy. So hopefully we can see some balancing done to the game. So if new players want to get into the game, it's not that difficult for them. Since MMORPGs, they are meant to be not MMORPGs, just RPG. Okay, so RPGs, there's meant to be some grind to them, but not too much or not too difficult. So at this point, I went to the last part of level 3, and when I saw that trapdoor on the floor, I'm like, oh boy, there's another whole floor coming up. I know where this is headed to, so here we go again. Minotaur Prime, this is the one I'm talking about, and when I saw his damage output, I'm like, wow, okay, 100 damage per hit, not getting through this guy. I try to get as far as I can to see whether if you die in this dungeon, will you be able to respawn somewhere, like maybe the top floor, or maybe or will you just die and then you have to start the whole thing over again. So turns out, if you die like any other death, you're going to have to redo the whole thing over again, and yeah. So hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel for more such future content. Till the next time, this has been Dev0466. Peace out.